Brian Mathew on behalf of the Lib Dem.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Stringer. It's an honour to speak under your chairship, and I'd like to thank the member for Kirkcaldy and Cowdenbeath and Kirkcaldy for bringing this vital debate. Before I try to address some of the many important points made in today's debate, I'd like to say that this matter is very close to my heart. As a student in the early 1980s, I spent a year researching in Israel and Egypt, based for much of the time on Kibbutz Re'im, that would on October the 7th, 2023, be attacked by Hamas militants. In those now far-off days, I remember going into Gaza with my Israeli friends to visit their Palestinian friends, to drink coffee and to trade. Those were happy times, and they show that another way is possible. I should also add that as a member of the International Development Committee, I've not only travelled to the West Bank and witnessed firsthand the effect of IDF tear gassing of UNRWA schools, but I've heard testimony from humanitarian workers, doctors, ambulance drivers and paramedics, sometimes in tears over the utterly appalling targeting of humanitarian staff, and children by Israeli drones, shooting children at bomb sites in Gaza. Some days in the groin, other days in the legs, and other days in the head. This behaviour is most foul and has even been acknowledged to be ethnic cleansing by none other than the former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Olmert. It must stop or be stopped by all means possible. And just to shoot through some of the points that have been raised, because they're all valuable. The 28,000 women and girls killed, the fabric of life destroyed, the latest attack on Gaza, the disinformation campaign, the provision of rotten food, the US President's visit and the chance to lobby him, access for aid workers, not just aid. 98% of aid workers killed are Palestinians. 2,000 people killed in orchestrative killings, aid workers killed in Gaza, the trauma, the fear, the Israeli denials, obfuscation and confusion, the attacks on the Palestinian Red Crescent, attacks on hospitals, deaths of civilians, starvation, hunger and famine, and it goes on and on and on. I will go to the Lib Dem position, and obviously we're saying that the situation we're seeing in Gaza is unconscionable. Liberal Democrats firmly support human rights, international law and a peaceful resolution of the Israel-Palestine conflict. And above all, we believe all humans should be treated with dignity and their basic rights be respected. We, like many millions around the world, have been deeply devastated by the scenes in Gaza, and increasingly now in the West Bank. This is not to take away the trauma experienced by the Israeli people following the heinous attack that Hamas undertook on October the 7th. There is no underestimating the grief, anger and trauma that they're still feeling, which is why we have been deeply concerned by the violence between Israel and Hamas, which has led to mass displacement, immense suffering and loss of life. No Israeli or Palestinian should be killed simply because of where they were born. The UK must play a proactive role in achieving a peaceful and lasting solution that ensures dignity, security and self-determination for both Israelis and Palestinians. The government must finally recognise they need to do more to ensure that Britain is not complicit in human rights violations, starting by immediately halting all arms sales to Israel. The government has still failed to release its legal advice surrounding the International Court of Justice ICJ rulings on the occupation. Why not? And will the government now make clear what advice it has received regarding the legality of actions undertaken by Israel in Gaza? In the light of the confusion caused by the former Foreign Secretary's letter, is genocide taking place? We call for a multilateral push to secure a renewed ceasefire to end the humanitarian catastrophe, as well as unhindered humanitarian access into Gaza. We need this ceasefire to hold to ensure that those remaining hostages are released and that the dire humanitarian crisis in Gaza is alleviated. Hamas terrorists have shown despicable cruelty, even in the release of Israeli hostages, and also in the return of the bodies of hostages killed in their captivity. The humanitarian crisis in Gaza has left countless people in danger, in a state of famine, and many thousands dead. It's estimated by the UN that women and children account for 70% of the fatalities in Gaza since October 2023. The UN has cited that more than 1.9 million people have been displaced, including over 1 million women and girls, as estimated by UN Women. The entire population of Gaza, approximately 2.2 million people, is experiencing acute food insecurity, and famine has been declared in the Gaza Strip. They also noted that an estimated 63 women, including 37 mothers, are being killed daily, and 17,000 Palestinian children are believed to have been orphaned since the war on Gaza began. Over 183 women per day are giving birth without pain relief, while hundreds of babies have died because of lack of electricity to power incubators, and 95% of pregnant and breastfeeding women face severe food poverty. Reports of sexual and gender-based violence in this conflict, including allegations against Israeli forces and Hamas's actions on October 7th, are deeply concerning. The UN Human Rights Office has uncovered that nearly 70% of those killed in Gaza over a 6-month period were women and children, a disproportionately high level compared to usual conflicts. Many Israelis are disgusted by the behaviour of their government and have been openly demonstrating and even bravely burning their draft cards, which will result in their imprisonment. We need to stand and act in solidarity with them and with Palestinians who just want to have a peaceful future. Thank you.